Hey, everybody, and welcome. Yes, it is the Friday pre-flight. We started right on time. I'm getting really good at doing that, so I'm glad you're all here. We've already got several people hanging out with us, at least 13, 14, 15 of us here. Just want to say hi to everybody, and then we'll get underway. Looks like we had an early visitor in Hugh Photographer, so thanks for showing up, Hugh. I truly appreciate it. You were the first one here. And we've got, let's see, Defenders of the Faith. Hey, Defenders, and you can have a window seat. You can have any seat you want on my plane. There's plenty of anything that you want available. Everybody's welcome. It's a big room, a big table. Everybody is can get whatever they want when they're here, or at least I hope so, within reason. I think probably. And look, it's Man of War. Man of War. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, and you can have first class. Everybody can have first class. I try to give a first class show. I'm getting there someday. Zachariah, thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. I think I saw you over on Lorena's stream, Lorena's Lunch Table, which is right before mine, about an hour before my show she ends. That's a great show. Please support Lorena right now. She needs the watch hours. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and subscribers will talk a little bit about that at the end of the stream. I'm going to actually be promoting her a little bit on Friday Night Tights tonight in the chat, like I do. I try to pump up the people that I follow because, hey, everybody's special to me. You have no idea. All right, Pop Culture Avenger is here. Hail, and welcome to the fellow chat. Absolutely. And Lord Thoth, how's it going? Good afternoon. I always forget for people around the world, because we have guests from around the world, folks that visit us from around the world that get on our flight with us that are from everywhere. So I have to say hello and welcome. So thanks for being here. No matter what time it is, I'm glad you're here. Accidental Tourist, I appreciate that you got through airport security took away any liquids. Well, that's all right. But we can definitely have an in-flight bar. In fact, right next to me here, that's a tradition of some sorts. It doesn't necessarily have to be this, but it could be something right before I get on a plane. I will tell you that whether I'm behind the sticks or actually a passenger, I'm nervous when I'm flying, at least the takeoff and landing, because that's the point at which things get a little hairy. So that first and last 10 minutes of any flight. But anyway. Buckle up. We're going to be, we have no turbulence that I'm aware of, other than the things that have happened this week, in the entertainment business and some other news as well. Again, I'm going to skirt the politics of things, but unfortunately in everything right now, there's just a little bit of it. It's just I don't know. It's going to brush the sides of the plane, but it's not going to do anything. So we'll get through that. So let's see. Oh, Tina's here. Hello, Tina. I'm glad you're here. You're one of the best supporters in the whole community, and I truly appreciate it. In fact, everybody in my chat, you guys, I see you everywhere. You are incredible supporters of everybody, and that's truly, truly amazing. Gundam Wing Zero. Gundam is cool. Glad you're here. All right. Appreciate that. We've got Lorena. Hey, I was just talking about you. Yeah, you got to eat your lunch, but your table was fantastic today. Your lunch table. I guess you don't get to eat when you're hosting your show at your lunch table. So I'm glad you're getting some food down. So we've got Nano Reaper. Hey, Nano Reaper, how's it going? Got to hang out with him the other day in one of the live streams I was doing. That was very interesting. We did some stuff I don't like to do, which is we brushed against the politics and talked about our impressions of the thing that happened on C-SPAN. Let's just put it that way. Hey, look, it's according to Christy. Hey, Christy. And she didn't even use her traditional greeting for me, which is nice. I know she appreciates that I run a PG-13 channel for the most part. Another monster. I am relaxed. Thank you for being here. And I think your compatriot might show up as well, or your best buddy, Stieg. So we'll see. Lorena. Oh no, you bet. Hey, I'm all about promoting you. You're truly talented. You need about 375 more subs, I think. Last time I looked, I could be wrong. My numbers could be wrong. I looked a couple days ago, but Lorena needs the subs, guys, and she needs the watch time too. And she's got a good strategy. She's everywhere. I mean, she's on more stuff than I am. And that's hard to do. Karen Prime is here. Karen Prime is also everywhere. Another person that supports everybody here. Ooh, how are we on watch hours? We're getting close, guys. You guys are really helping me out. I'm about 450 hours away from monetization, at least the way YouTube calculates it. And of course, they take hours away. They take subscribers away. Sometimes they put them back. So we'll see. But if you're not, if somehow you found your way here randomly, just double check to make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, just hit the button down there on the bottom. That would be fantastic. And punch that like thing. I mean, I during the stream, I really don't pay when I'm doing this solo. I really don't pay attention to what's going on down there. But I appreciate every time you guys add something to the chat in the way of a like, a comment, or whatever. I try to catch everybody going on. So, yeah, you guys are amazing. So, wow, Lorena's saying hi to everybody. That's awesome. You were enjoying a cup of Walton's Best Brew. Well, okay. No, that's fantastic. Boy, that thing is never going to go away. In fact, I think that was one of the things that Stephen was talking about this morning, was that is never going to go away. I think he had nerd cookies on his show. Boy, everybody's all over the place. Everybody's kind of streaming. We kind of butt up against each other. It's fantastic. In fact, my buddy Kai, who we'll talk about at the end of the stream as well, he launched a book property, which I am holding in my hand. Space Crime Domino is an amazing book. It's very thick, but it's decent typeset, pretty decently spaced. So it's not as thick as it actually looks, but it's an amazing book. He launched the book yesterday. It's fantastic. It's available on Amazon. I will try to find the link. If one of you that are happen to be a mod for me can go and find that on Amazon, Kai's book, Space Crime Domino. I would appreciate that, and just link it in the chat for me, because otherwise, boomer, I'll screw up and I'll probably disconnect myself. Louvrian Imakara, thank you for being here. Yeah, I know you're fine. The gate agents, you got on the plane just in time. We've just getting started saying hi to everybody. Lord Vader is here. Hey, my friend Parrothead, CultureCasino. That's right. And the boss likes the cuddles, so that's not a bad thing to be, guys. Anyway, and we have Shellbach. Hey, Shellbach, good to see you, buddy. Hey, oh yeah, if anyone knows about things that are a little hairy, it's me. Absolutely. Diablo Dame, happy Friday, all. And actually, that's why we're here. Friday is the big day of the week. It's when all of our shows kind of kick off. And, now that we're seeing earlier shows on Friday, especially those of you who are, on the East Coast or across the pond or in, some other foreign land, you're getting an opportunity to get these things started much, much earlier. So it's kind of cool. And we all seem to flow into each other. I'm digging it. It's so much fun. Hey, Runner, I hope you're doing well in school. I hope you did good in your meet yesterday. I think Runner had a track meet yesterday, so I hope that went well. Makini, thanks for being here, buddy. I really appreciate it. Keck44. My goodness, guys, you're just all rolling in now. Okay. All right. So I think I've caught up. Zachariah, I already said hi to you, so we're good. So, yep. Thank you. And smash the like button. Absolutely. So let's get started. Now we have a lot of weird stuff that happens. I think that because of their influence in pop culture and in probably every element of entertainment, the Friday Night Tights and Doomcock are all going to have to talk about Disney and what happened during the course of this week. Disney had to let go of 28,000 employees. And, I did a video on this. It was absolutely awful because I actually know people who were caught up in this, and it's primarily park employees, especially in California. But it's not only them. There are pieces of the company that are just being cut away. There were 400 people in Imagineering alone that got cut away, and 2 of them were my friends. I still have a friend left in Imagineering. I still have some friends that are left that are park employees, both in California and Florida. And I also still have some friends that are in other areas in Burbank. So, but bosses are going, like mid-level executives. They did not pull any punches. And this is unfortunate because Josh D'Amaro, the person, the Disney Parks Products and Experiences chairman, president, whatever term you want to use, he's well liked by all of the employees, by all of the Dis nerds like myself. The park employees really, really like him. He believes in them. He believes in the parks. He wants them maintained properly. He wants good show, right? And he's a big believer in the 4 keys. We are going to ignore the comment of the 5th key probably for a while until I actually get a chance to get some feedback on what's being actually talked about in this inclusivity key that was just added, which makes me crazy. But he's well liked. He's usually that job, the parks products and experiences, which used to just be parks and experiences, but they threw the products in there because that was Chapek's forte. Anyway, usually the person in this position eventually becomes the CEO, and they had somebody that was in decent position there that they got rid of. Or he got rid of himself. He instituted a multi-billion-dollar project that did not go smoothly. So maybe he found a way out the door himself in Tom Staggs. But beyond that, this guy, Josh D'Amaro, is going to likely be the next president of the company, the next CEO. Because Chapek's going to fail. He has been. His default position is to cut. Josh, I know, probably didn't want to have this happen. And actually, Drunk 3PO has met Josh. Josh is a very personable guy. So, very nice. So I know several people who've spoken with him, including myself. I bumped into him. He's a nice guy. I mean, and when he's walking around the park, he looks like a suit, but sometimes he doesn't wear his badge. You know, if you're not paying attention, you know, you could be hanging out with him in line like Drunk did. But keep in mind that that he's well liked. Well, it had to break his heart because they got rid of a 33% of the people they're getting rid of full-time employees, 67%. And it's outlined here are part-timers. Well, some of those part-timers used to be full-timers, and Mary Mayhem got it right the other day. Yeah, this comment speaks to things. Bob Cheapek. Yeah. Or cheapskate is what some of us call him. But yeah, he cut back. I mean, one of the reasons that it doesn't matter. One of the reasons Galaxy's Edge feels empty is because of him. So, but I digress. Anyway, so moving along, he is, lots of people lost their jobs, but he ended up having to cut a bunch of people who were formerly full-time that got moved down to part-time, to kind of cut costs and to kind of, keep the ship even keel. At the same time, it's easier to get rid of part-time people. So a huge chunk of those folks are gone. But along with all of those folks goes a bunch of institutional knowledge. And this is part of the video that I did this week. And I think it's, I'm being ghosted, guys. So if you can share the stream, thank you, Diego. If you can share the stream, I would truly appreciate it, because obviously, aside from the Twitter things that I do to promote the show, sometimes notifications don't go out from YouTube. I'm starting to think that I could be at fault occasionally when that happens on a live stream. And the reason that I might feel that way is because I add tags late, like right before the show goes, usually about a half an hour ahead of time, based on the subjects that we're going to cover. And I think maybe that might be influencing it. So I'm going to talk a little bit with Nerdrotic and some others, or at least DM them and see if they agree that might be some of the issues with that. Hi Atlantean. Yeah, it's just awful when these people lose their jobs, but we're losing more than that in the parks and in the other departments as well. You lose something called institutional knowledge. And one of the reasons I covered it in my videos, because it's incredibly important. Those people know what have worked and what will work and what doesn't work. And when you get rid of the people who know all the things that have not worked in the past, you're doomed to repeat that. It's that history is, if you don't pay attention to it, you're doomed to repeat it. They've had employees and entertainers, even in Disney World, that have been kind of a staple. That's the right word. They've been staples of the entertainment part of the parks for decades and decades, including Yeehaw Bob in Disney World. He's gone, guys. Yeehaw Bob show is no more. The Polynesian ceremonial dancers, I'm not sure if it's the entire troupe, but they were let go. The Grand Floridian Orchestra, now mind you, these are all just Florida entertainers. The Grand Floridian Orchestra is also gone. There are several other things that have been eliminated in entertainment across the property in Florida that aren't even being talked about, and those folks were part of this as well. But this is only really the second round of layoffs for the Disney company. This is happening to hit the park segment primarily. So it's about to get really sad across the parks. And this is one of the reasons, for sure that when it comes to entertainment, that's the first thing that Chapek is going to want to cut. And I think that's why some of those people were part of the cuts as well. Anyway, so we'll move along from this and actually talk about some of the ramifications. Josh's statement here was, as much as it was a business statement, it was a political one as well, kind of, dropping the gauntlet or tossing the gauntlet or smacking the gauntlet across Governor Gavin Newsom's face. Now, I'm not going to get into the political side of things other than to state that this was clearly political in his statement, saying that, they can't reopen the parks because of California, the state of California's unwillingness to lift the restrictions. Well, that's true. I mean, and based on the rumors that I've heard, it doesn't sound like they're going to actually be able to open under the confiscatory restraints that are being held on Orange County until sometime in early part of 2021. That's unacceptable. And it's, and it's still a real problem. And Lorena makes a good point, and we talked about this the other day. They cut 28,000 jobs, but they're still kicking out those live action remakes like The Lion King Part 2. That movie I don't expect will perform very well, and I don't know where they're going to get the budget for it, because it's going to cost $150 million at least to produce, and I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to perform like the remake of The Lion King did. And to be honest with you, that film, to Lorena and myself, at least when we talked about it, felt incredibly hollow. The uncanny valley part of that it is not comforting. But as we move on in the stories, the next thing I want to talk about is still in line with this same thing. You have the fact that one of the staunchest supporters of Gavin has been the former CEO. Oh, shoot, guys, I am boomering it. The former CEO, Bob Iger. Bob Iger was the CEO of the Disney company, and he obviously left that position in favor of becoming a political figure. Of course, that backfired because he had to come back to the Disney company. But as we see here in the Deadline article that was just made yesterday, Bob Iger resigned from Newsom's recovery task force. And of course he did, because Gavin and his task force are exclusively responsible for the Disney company having to have all of these layoffs. So it speaks to something that happened, in the ramifications. But this is bad news for Gavin, because Disney is worth about $330 billion in tax revenues alone, just in, and that's occupancy taxes alone, just in that area. That's a lot of money. The gross domestic product of California is about 3.2 trillion. And you're shutting down all these theme parks and amusement parks and all these other entertainment enterprises, and you are just swathing a huge gash in your income. The state of California is going to be in fiscal trouble. They already were, but they're going to be in even more trouble. And it's, they're not going to get a federal bailout if things stay as they are in Washington. So I have a feeling that things are going to go even more poorly for the leadership in California when you lose some of your staunchest allies. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, and it's far too political for my channel. But I think you're going to find that that there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of folks that are going to be abandoning that train, and you can't blame them. At this point, living in California is a chore. Going to visit California will be impossible. And very quickly, the restrictions that have already been talked about when it comes to being able for Disneyland and the other theme parks to open up in the area, especially Orange County, those restrictions will be confiscatory in a very, very uncomfortable way, whereas they can only occupy the property by 25%, so 25% capacity. It's hard to make. Disney makes its money at 50+% capacity, pretty much. It depends on the day, but usually it's somewhere between 45 and 50% occupancy is where they start to make their money. But limiting it to 25% is a problem, number one. Number two, they're going to limit the distance that visitors can travel. So they won't allow out-of-state visitors. They won't allow international visitors, et cetera, et cetera. It is those things that have been talked about. That's going to be a real problem. And I see. Yeah, everybody here. I don't miss living in California. Absolutely. Gavin Newsom. Yeah, I've heard that before. Shutting it all down and raising taxes. Yeah, Atlantean, that's what you probably could expect. And I know Roof Korean popped in here, and of course, I highlighted his comment just a minute ago, but I wanted to say hi. And that's how everybody thinks of him. And you know what? There's a lot of people that are glad they no longer live in Southern California, or California at all, for that matter. I really hope you get out of there before more of these things start to happen, because they're going to hit you in the wallet. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be a good time. So but we can move on from these subjects. A lot of people are not Disney, myself, and that's okay. There's a lot more to talk about. For example, right now, the public trust when it comes to the media establishment has hit an all-time record low, or record high. Let's take a look at this article real quick, and we'll see what it actually reads really fast. I need to downsize the story, guys. There we go. All right, very good. All right, so, think what you want about Breitbart, but the study that they are reporting on comes from Gallup. It's a Gallup's annual poll, and they measure the public trust. They've been doing it for years, at least 3, 4, 5 decades now, since the 70s. And 6 out of 10 folks polled have not very much trust in the current media. That's 27% of the people polled. None at all hit a record 33%. That's insane. Can you imagine 60% of the population having no trust in the media? I can, because I don't trust them. It also seems to come down to the fact that this 33% with no trust whatsoever is a record high. It's the first time it's ever been that point. And I can understand that. And of course, it's dropped substantially from the 2016 election, the 2018 election, et cetera. And again, I'm trying not to brush on the politics of this, but what I'm trying to say is we have no faith in our mainstream news media. And I think that, I've been reflecting that for a long time to everybody out there that's watched me. And I think all of you probably, for the most part, maybe some of you would disagree, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you feel any faith in what the news media tells you, or what your daily entertainment sources are, or do you feel like sometimes they get it right? I mean, I don't. It takes me hours every day to try to consume some form of news because I have to go to multiple sources. I use NewsGuard and some other stuff to kind of filter out, who I might be able to pay attention to, but it's incredibly hard it's incredibly hard to trust anyone at this point. So you're on your own. So do your own research. I think Gary says that more so than anybody else on YouTube. Do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Go out, find these articles, do your own study of the various articles, and try to figure out what the truth might be. I'm curious. I'm going to pay attention to the chat right now and see where you all are at. But it's just insane. So let's see. Actually, you know what, Frackoff, I am going to get to that. That's actually one of the things I already have ready to share. And that's my next thing, because it follows right in suit with the entertainment and stuff like that, and right on the heels of the media. So, hey, Ladega, good to see you. Dollified, thanks for joining us. Let's see where we're at. I'm done with Disney's live action remakes. So that's very, very true. Yes. Do pray for Rick. Yeah. That was pretty ridiculous. I would rather trust internet media like here. Well, that's true, James. And I appreciate that faith. And I know that a lot of people here do, especially news sources like Tim Pool and a few others. But do your own research too. I would compel everybody to because you can never have somebody presenting you information that doesn't present it with some form of bias. Now, I try to limit mine. There are times when I don't, and I will tell you if I'm having a visceral or an emotional response to something. But, again, I appreciate the faith that you have in us, but we do our best, but it's always the best course of action to be well informed. So, Atlantean, I think a lot of people believe that. I would never trust the mainstream news. Yeah. I know. Nope, I don't trust the news, especially when they get the weather wrong. Well, they've been getting the weather guessers have been wrong forever. Weather Channel used to be really good for weather until they decided to be a news organization. And as much as I enjoy the storm coverage, in fact, it's kind of one of those things I'll leave on when there's a storm going on. I know that's maybe that's ghoulish, but I'm always intrigued by the sheer scope what a weather event can do. I find that fascinating, and you know, and of course it's terrible for the people that are affected. But when you've been in Florida, when you're either pre, post, or during a hurricane, you know, those people don't gear up for that quite the way that some other places do. Yeah, I know. Um, I haven't trusted the established media in years. I don't think anybody has. We used to have some other good alternate sources of news gathering. I'm trying to think. Drudge probably had been for a while, and some people had discovered him. And then about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago, he kind of fell off the planet. Maybe 6 years ago. But I don't even, like I said, I don't even go there anymore to find stuff. I'm just constantly scouring everything, and I use that plugin DuckDuckGo to try to keep me from being filtered extensively by Google, right? And to keep me from being tracked. I know that seems paranoid, but you know, you're tracked in everything that you do nowadays. So, and you know, the current incarnation of Hollywood is, I honestly believe they probably are deleting themselves. I think that they're slowly deconstructing what happened. You know what, Soul Assassin? Well, you know what? I promise we will get to that in just 2 seconds. You know what? Let's do it now. We're going to do it live. I'm going to try to find the screen thing that I have and drag it over here. I went ahead and downloaded the video because there's video of this incident. It's absolutely terrible. And they're looking for help on this. So let's take a look at this. This is Rick Moranis just getting struck in the back of the head on the other side of the screen there on the right side. This is the suspect. He's, you know, masked up, which, you know, that's another problem with wearing masks all the time, guys, is half your face is covered. So there he is wearing an I Love New York sweatshirt. You know, pretty tall guy based on the height of the jack stands there for the covering for the construction that's being done overhead. But anyway, so he was struck in the head. He was injured. You know, thoughts and prayers for him. I'm not sure exactly his status at the very moment. I've caught this over on B&O News, you know, and that we'll watch it one more time. It's just awful. Boom, right there. He was hit in the head, fell backward into the wall that was there the whole 9 years. So, you know, and Rick Moranis is a nice guy. Good man. So I hope somebody figures out who this is, because that was awful. It was just awful. Anyway, yeah. Ugh. That frustrates me, and it you know, and I don't know, it's just terrible. Yeah, simply looking at, yeah, I know it does. Well, and here's the thing. I mean, I don't have to describe the attacker to you. You can see him. You can see everything about what happened there. Yeah, hurricane parties, Publix. That's right. That's where you go. You make sure you got booze. Booze is number one in Florida. You make sure you have something for the barbecue. You know, you make sure you have like something floating device, you know, of some sort. Just a few things, but they really don't take them seriously. And you can actually go to a barbecue during a hurricane. It's nuts. It's a lot of fun, actually, sometimes. Yeah, it's terrible, Bill. Like, and I highlighted your comment before. I don't even know. Walt Disney Parks always bring me back to our greedy politicians driving Walt to pick Orlando over NOLA for perpetually having their hands out. Well, and here's the way he did it. I mean, this is a really interesting story. He went out of his way to protect what he was buying by purchasing it through a bunch of other companies, a bunch of other names, and kind of assembling this giant, you know, multi-thousands, tens of thousands of acres to build the property on, knowing full well that, you know, unlike Anaheim, he would have plenty of space to build out whatever he wanted. And of course, as you know, Epcot that we have in the parks wasn't what he had conceived of originally. He was talking about building a new city that employed all of the things that he was showcasing in his parks. He was a visionary. So it would have been, I think Florida had Walt stayed alive, I think Florida would have been very different than it is now. I think you still would have had multiple theme parks. I think development would have been different. And I believe he would have essentially built his own prototype city. It would have been technically advanced in a way that we couldn't possibly have prepared for. I think one day I'm going to do a full video on that, but there's plenty of history videos on how he assembled the property and did all of that. So yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. What the hell was he doing in that hood? Well, that's normal. I mean, especially if you have weather that's, bad, is to put your hood up. I don't usually, that doesn't usually cause me pause. Now, masks used to give people pause. Well, now they don't, because we've been in many cities like New York City, you're forced to wear them. But yeah, he's twice the size of Rick, who's an old guy. He's almost 70. That was just, virtuous individual. Yeah, actually, I think he thinks he was, but yeah. And yeah, that's about as violent. Yeah, it's just terrible. Yeah, it's really messed up. Looks like the knockout. Yeah. Yeah. And look, I mean, we've got people being shot in their cars and stuff like that. It's awful. Yeah, I hope they catch him too. If it was a peaceful protester. If that's on CNN, it is. It was a peaceful protest. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 4chan will find this person. They absolutely will. Although, the FBI have very similar resources. It's just whether or not they'll be employed to do this type of thing. Actually, going back before the lockdowns across the world happened, I have video of an attack that happened in Ireland. That was racially motivated. And I'm tired of it, guys. I'm tired of it. It makes no sense. It doesn't feed anybody's purpose. It really doesn't. Oh, I'm sorry, Shellback. Yeah, a lot of people probably, this is the first they're hearing about it. So, but the story's on B&O News, and now it's probably everywhere at this point. But that's where I caught it first. So that B&O is Boston. So, it was very gangster. In fact, one of the really cool things about how he assembled the land was he assembled it the same way like the CIA would build up governments, or shadow government facilities and stuff like that, or the way they would go about building a city. And then he turned it into essentially its own district, the Reedy Creek Development District, which allowed him to basically become his own city. Which is why up until around 9/11, 2001, they had their own police force that wasn't, they wouldn't allow sheriffs on unless there was an actual incident onto property. They patrolled everything. They have their own fire department. They have their own building codes. They have their own comptroller. So it is a very tight city. It's actually a Celebration has, I think, only one voting member, or at least there's only one voting member that lives in the district. Technically. So exactly. Yeah, when Florida saw that Disney was buying land, the prices tripled. That's right. But he'd already purchased the bulk of that land. So yeah, it's very cool. Say like Walt stole the land from the state of Florida. No, he was a smart businessman. See, that's the difference. If you want to talk about taxes and tax exposure like people are doing right now, for whatever reason, with whoever we're talking about, there's a lot of people. There's a reason people incorporate themselves. It's to limit their tax liability. You can shield a lot of money by incorporating your business interests, like most people should do on YouTube, if they possibly can. Everything should be paid for by the business. All the income should be paid to the business. So, and yes, Forbidden Rune, that was a mostly peaceful interaction. Yeah, Mr. CDV does some really cool stuff on his channel too. Yeah, underrated. The guy. Oh, that guy. I hope I don't run into him. Yeah, I know. Isn't that terrible? Isn't that gutless? That's just gutless. It's incredibly offensive. Hail, Jake D. Dude, your channel is picking up, man. I'm loving it. I love popping in there and listening to you. Live streams are fun. I can't wait to be on there. I'm on the what do you call it? The Discord thing. The thing that boomers are reticent to use. Anyway, I'm on that, so you and I can communicate that way. We'll set something up, but I'm glad you're here, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah. Moranis is a group regularly targeted by another group in energy. Yeah, I know. I really don't want to get into any of that, but that couldn't be any closer to the truth. But I have a feeling. So we've covered the Disney stuff. We've covered the media stuff. We've now covered what happened to Rick Moranis. I have a feeling these subjects might come up tonight on Friday Night Tights, Friday Night Frolics, and probably throughout the rest of the weekend, especially as we're updated on the condition of Rick Moranis. So we'll see. So, well, thank you, Dollified. I appreciate it, Donald. You're a good dude. Oh, Donald has a good channel too. He does this. I want to say it's the Mutant Mondays. Donald, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's got this live stream that he does. It's really kind of fun. He's got some varied interests. He's a really smart guy, really cool creator, contributes to Bounding into Comics. So, good guy to subscribe to. You get some unique and wonderful opinions. Bonnet Creek, yeah, it's the only non-Disney owned land surrounded by the Disney World. Yeah, that's true. Actually, they sold off a Flamingo Crossing area, but they just repurchased some area that's right adjacent to what they'd sold off for development there. So you've got a bunch of Marriott hotels that have been constructed in what would have been the Flamingo Crossing area. I don't know why they parted with that much buildable land, but I do know that some of their other offset purchases for building on the current wetlands have gone through, and they have some space. They're going to need it. They are about one park behind the volume of customers. Of course, that was prior to the things that are going on now. I don't think they'll be adding a fifth park anytime soon. So, but yeah, that guy was an absolute coward. That's at minimum. And I feel bad because I know people who live in the New York area, like Mando Merck and several others. I mean, and people that subscribe here and that we hang out with. And I don't know. Yeah, the Discord thing. Yeah, the Discord thing. I still use it. I'm on the Discord when I'm with Ords. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Sunday I don't know what the poll ended up being, if we're going to continue Left 4 Dead 2 or we're going to move on to Dead Island, but I'll be playing games, it looks like, this Sunday again, guys. So check out that stream on Ords Board's channel. That's a lot of fun. It really is. You get to hear me say the occasional bad word. So usually Stop Shooting Me is accompanied with the bad word. So but yeah, so he'll be fine. Okay. Well, I hope so, Jake. Yeah. Oh yeah, Troy, New York. My gosh, yeah, and and it's just one of those things. I mean, my extended family. I've extended family in New York and stuff. It's just driving me crazy. Of course, they're upstate, but yeah, it's absolutely not. Set Cecil loose on this. Yeah, no kidding. You're free to use bad words if you're on my channel. Okay, but I limit it, guys. It's just part of me. One of the things my parents instilled in me was the fact that you would not be taken seriously if you use profanity constantly. That you needed to use actual descriptive words, adjectives properly. So, hail, M. Dastardly, thanks for joining us. I'm sure many people aren't here right now. We normally have about 10 or 15 more folks that are watching because the notification didn't go out, but I am thankful for all of you that have joined me here today. You guys are awesome. The tri-state area is home to half of the Dark Council. Yeah, I know. And if that guy ran into any of them, I think he'd be in big trouble because, it's just awful. But we've got a couple more subjects to cover that I'm pretty sure the guys are going to get to, and then then we're just going to shoot the breeze, guys. We can talk about whatever you want. We had this, I know for sure, is going to be there because I think Gary was talking about it the other day on one of his live streams, or if not a video. But the boys from South Park created a new episode, a pandemic episode called the Pandemic Special. And it did really, really well, at least supposedly. It got the best ratings that the South Park has had in 7 years. I think this is actually where South Park has actually jumped the shark. I think they went over the rails. It was a supersized special episode of Matt Stone and Trey Park's South Park on Wednesday. It tackled the pandemic, skewered Disney, Donald Trump, and cops, and drew a slew of viewers in the process. It scored a 2.3 million same day live and 2.1 in the demo, which is really good, which is actually better than the NBA, which is going to be our last story. Of course, we'll get to sports at the end here, but it was up 168% in the demo. That's pretty good over the last 7 years. So, and of course, season 23, they've been around a while, guys. So these guys have done pretty well with this cartoon show, and the way they recorded is brilliant. And it's a lot of fun to have learned some of the behind the scenes stuff when this goes. But it's so far has amassed over 4 million views, so it's doing very, very well. And if you haven't seen the episode, I would suggest that if you are into South Park, take a few moments to watch it. But it does take some swings at some things in a very unfair way, unlike usually how they had done it in the past, where everyone was evenly harangued. But anyway, I really can't wait to hear what the guys think about this tonight, because I think that they're going to have a really strong take when it comes to this, and I think they might agree that that this may have been where it jumped the shark, but maybe not. We'll see. Yeah. Oh yeah. Random notifications. Yep. Yeah, YouTube user language more than content creator. I didn't know that. I do know that you're not supposed to curse in the first 10 to 15 minutes of a marked stream that's not marked for under 13. But I know that they do pay attention to that, and I'm getting close to being monetized, guys. And I'll do that update again. It's going to be about 450 view hours that I'm short of monetization. At least that's where before I got on stream, that's the number I checked at. But we'll double check that maybe live while we're here. So, but look, I really appreciate everybody grinding out my live content playlist, because it is obviously making a huge difference, and we need to move on. Once I get there, I'm going to be pushing everybody else that I follow, because we have a huge group of up and comers, people that should already have been monetized, people that are just close to getting there. They just need some watch hours. We've got a lot of great content creators, and we've got some up and comers like Jake D and Dollified, and several other folks here in the chat. So, I will continue at the end of the video today. You're going to see my closing credits. If you haven't stayed long enough to see those, or if you drop off early, at the end of every live stream now, I'm running a closing credits screen, which actually features 10 other channels that I follow. Some of them are big creators. Some of them are just getting started. All of them deserve your attention, because I think they deserve your attention. But you can decide for yourself. Just check them out. That's all I ask. Yeah. And I do censor myself a little bit, but yeah. Oh no, I appreciate that, Jake. I really do. Yeah, but I'm glad that people randomly got the notification. So, but I'm glad you're all here. We got 51 of you in the chat. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. I know everybody out there's been trying to do that. Makini, I know you're a wrench here, and if you can, I don't know if you're on your phone or at your computer, but if you can throw up Kai's book from Amazon again, just the link in there so everybody can take a look at that, because I do want to promote that. I want to do that at the end of the stream. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Yeah, you swear like a sailor, but during meaningful Discord. Yeah, I know. I think that's how I felt like I needed to do. So when I'm playing a video game, I'm a little more loose with my language, but when I'm trying to engage you guys, it doesn't work, And it is not great if it's your whole vocabulary. And I learned that valuable lesson. I learned from my parents, and I learned in various ways, and some of them were maybe a little corporal. So you just figure it out. But it just happened. Ain't nobody gonna mess with those guys. Yeah. Oh, I know. God dang, you never want to make anybody on the Dark Council. Oh, guys, that's something else I learned today too. Dark Council's coming back. When it's supposed to, really, really shortly. Abu Nas was on with Steven this morning and said the Dark Council will be back. So if you've been missing it the last few weeks, it's coming back. It'll be up soon. So check that out. So I'm really pumped. And I can understand. I mean, sometimes you got to step away. Family is important, but the Dark Council is something that people are invested in. So I'm glad to hear it's going to be right around the corner. So I'm very, very excited. Your aunt lives in Brooklyn, and my dad's younger, and I'm worried about everybody in that area right now. Any of the 5 boroughs, doesn't matter. I'm worried. I really am. Yeah, I knew some people that were in New York right before the thing hit, or it had already hit, but New York wasn't closed down yet. And it was a challenge then. I cannot imagine now with everything that's going on what it is right now. Yeah, and so. Visited New Year's with my girlfriend as part of the first trip to the U.S. Well, Diego, that was probably the best time to visit, in all honesty. Plus, you got to see a lot of really cool decorations if it was right at the New Year. So that's awesome. Yeah. If the captain of the flight starts using profanity, usually something is really bad. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I don't curse. I want to keep you guys calm. This is supposed to be a smooth flight. We're supposed to be talking about the fun stuff. Pop culture. Hey, Kashik Queen is here. Hi, Amber. I'm glad you're here. And I know that Thomas is coming. Thomas will be there next weekend, I think, if I'm not wrong. But I'm glad you're here, sweetie. You did a great job on the live stream last night. You need to do more of that. I think I tweeted that last night. You should be doing more live streams. You need to kick Ords off the computer or make him build one for you. So do your own thing. I know you got it. Somebody's got to watch the monkeys, though. I understand. So, surest way to know I'm angry is profanity. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I've heard of yet another pointless remake film, The Witches, with Anne Hathaway. Yeah, look, stop. You are bereft of creativity. Stop throwing that out there for everybody to see. But it's not just Disney, guys. It's everybody doing it. We have abandoned the idea of adapting new stories, and there are plenty of new stories out there to adapt from. Or if you failed making a movie the first time, try again. Like, I would say Disney owns the ability to create more Edgar Rice Burroughs films based on the Martian Chronicles, John Carter of Mars. Do that. Just do it better. Don't make the piece of garbage you made before. Let's, at least you can have, the diversity thing that you're looking for there, but whatever. Anyway, sorry, I got on a tangent. Hey, Wookiee Supremacy. Good to see you, Wook. Dude, Wookie's been playing with people lately on his channel and on Twitter. It's been really funny. Cha-ching, 450 hours and counting. That's right, Lord Thoth. Thank you. We're getting close. I might be on the cusp of gas money, and that is a very exciting thing. That's not why I'm here, though, guys. I'm here for you. I'm here for entertainment. This is the best hobby you can have in the world. If you have found your voice, or you feel like you found your voice, get involved here. The community we have a big table. We're open to all viewpoints. We disagree on stuff all the time. Tom and I have debates constantly, and he's one of the best people I know, one of the friendliest guys in the whole world. Take the time if you think you found your voice and join us like Jake D did. So, yeah, it got pulled. Oh yeah, I know. So that was really weird too, because I don't think we said, did I say the F-bomb? I don't think I used it. I don't think it was me, but, that's really odd. It's really odd because, it doesn't matter. It's, who knows? And absolutely, this is the model we live by. We rise together, and we do as a community, everybody. And the table's so big. We have people from Comicsgate. We have people from other creative circles that are here. They're here with us, and everybody's welcome, guys. That's why you're all here. At least I hope so. So, yeah, I know it does. It does flow through us all. Thank you, Stephen Walton, for that. That is never going away. And he is, of course, the leader of the fourth wave ish. I don't know if there's an actual leader, but he's definitely our preacher. How's that? Yeah, here we go. Hey, did you get an advanced copy of the book? I did. I was one of two people that got an advanced copy of this book. It just came out yesterday. It's available on Amazon. Yeah, he is streaming about his book right now. So, as soon as I finish, I'm going to encourage you all to go over there and support him. I'm keeping this to an hour today, guys. Normally I'd go 90 minutes, but I really want Kai to get the support he needs. He's an incredible guy. And when you do go over there in the next 13, 14 minutes, make sure you let him know I sent you. So, but check it out. So he had to appeal twice, won both. Yeah, I have marked my streams for 13 plus. I do it for a reason, just in case I actually say dang or something. But here's the link, guys. It's in the chat. That's his book on Amazon. It is a really good science fiction book. It has strong female characters, so watch out. But there's a story. That story is going to end up feeling like it revolves around two different crews on spaceships, and it's almost like a Western pirate story. I'm not going to ruin it for you. It's really, really cool. Lots of really creative storytelling in there. So he did a really good job. If you really want to know how to swear like a sailor, hit me. Yeah, I know you were a sailor. Yeah, and I know you know how to swear. Been on your stream before. Yeah, she is awesome in streams, isn't she? Yeah, the captain moment reminded me of a video on TikTok about captain on a plane said that the flight next to them challenged them to a race, so buckle up. Oh, that's really funny. Hey, look, I've been on planes where the pilot was definitely wanting to get to our destination quickly because we got in almost an hour at his schedule, and it wasn't because of a tailwind, because I watch all that stuff on my phone live. So it was like, okay, no more remakes. That's right, guys. That's right. Gas money is life. It truly is. And that's why, sometimes you pick up the side hustle of of Uber or something like that, sometimes that becomes an incredible stream of income that you were surprised by. I know that a lot of people that I know that were doing Uber Eats and stuff like that for quite some time, they were hurting, but then that job came back sooner, and they were doing much better than they had anticipated. So their regular job wasn't quite there yet. So yeah, I was really excited for John Carter until I wasn't. That describes me, because I was a huge ERB fan, and I have the entire Martian Chronicles in the original paperback with the original art on them. Man, those are gorgeous books. I wish I had them on this wall. I think they're in the other bookshelves, but I've got so many books, guys. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah. Thank you, Brutal Morningwood. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. And yes, my hours have picked up, so you guys are great. I'm going to move on to the next story because this went far away from the South Park thing. I believe they're going to talk about this, and I'm pretty sure. And I think they're going to come down on the same side I am, which is kind of like South Park may have just jumped the shark because they seem to have crossed over to the dark side, at least with some of the stuff. Again, South Park is good for satirizing the things that even I might agree with. But I like that approach. But this episode did not hit as far as I'm concerned. And so if you get a chance, check that one out. It may or may not be worth your time if you are a South Park fan. Now, finally, I always talk a little bit about sports ball, not from the aspect of like I care about what the sports ball is doing or what's happening on the court, the field, the diamond, the ice, whatever. Because I was a born sports fan. My dad was a professional sports person, and I have sports in my blood. So what has happened to me over the course of the last year is unprecedented. It's not something that I recognize in myself, and I am actively avoiding watching sports. It's never happened before. And I think one of the reasons being is there's too much politics in it. Every single poll that comes in on sports right now is telling you is telling them, I should say, the media, that people are turned off by all the politics and the political messaging in sports. Nobody's interested. And the reason I can say this is because game one of the finals of the NBA, with two of the most popular teams in the last decade, the Lakers and the Heat, it pulled in 7.41 million viewers total. That's garbage. That's half or less than half of what they got in the last finals, and it's the lowest number that they've had since 1994, which is actually when they started recording the figures for these things. So this is happening not just in the NBA, it's happening in the NFL. It's going to happen again this week. There are 4 very non-compelling games in the NFL. One of them, I believe, happened last night. But there are 3 more games this weekend nobody's going to watch. They will get hardly any viewership in their home markets. It's going to be another downward trend for them, and the sports media is going out of their way, and they're unwilling to admit that that they're seeing those decreases across the board in all sports. The media doesn't want to say it's because of politics, despite all of the numbers and the science behind it. So it's starting to get to a point where it's just absolutely disgusting. And I mean, I guess they want to lose money. I don't understand. Hey, Perry Chan, thanks for being here, buddy. I don't understand. Are they they're willing to lose money? And this is happening in every form of entertainment, which is why I bring this up. How long are they willing to lose money for? Because all of them are owned by big conglomerates. Those conglomerates, except for the sports teams themselves, but the people that put this stuff on television, they ultimately report to stockholders of some sort. There's not a lot of privately owned media corporations anymore, with the exception of the guy that owns the Discovery Channel stuff now. I think he's the only one that's left. Rupert Murdoch essentially had surrendered his sovereignty, and then he sold all of his U.S. assets, essentially. So I don't really understand. Fans seem to be moving over to baseball because it's less political. And that's true, Bill. I think that's right. But I think that they still, You still have people avoiding baseball, including me, because of some of that stuff. And more than half have stopped watching. That's 100% true. And because you have been going out of your way to ostracize your older fans, they're not taking their kids to games. They're not pulling them in front of the television to watch. You're going to break a habit for a couple, if not one, maybe two generations, a couple of generations at least, in my opinion. Pie sounds really good right now. It really does. The Chiefs are defending the Super Bowl champs this season, and you don't even really care. Yeah, I know. And here's the thing. I think Patrick Mahomes is an incredible athlete. I think he's a great quarterback. He's one of those people that I love watching. And the Chiefs were one of my grandfather's favorite football teams. And in fact, I have his Chiefs helmet somewhere here in the house. And I haven't watched. I canceled all of my sports packages with DirecTV. I made a video about it. I'm a lifelong sports fan, and I haven't watched anything since this all began. I don't think that's good. I'm not going to take my niece and nephew to the games anymore. I'm not going to support them. I'm not going to get tickets for my local teams. I'm not going to get tickets for the other teams I like in other markets. In fact, there are teams in other markets I pay more close attention to. So it's starting to get insane. So there's Kai's book again. So all right. My favorite sports baller is Cuck Breeds. Yay, spurts. I'm watching scores, not any games. And that's here's the thing. A lot of people are doing that. And that's the other thing. You don't have to watch the sports to know what happened in them. In the old days, your baseball team would be out of state. You couldn't watch them. The reporter on the train would put out a box score on the telex or whatever it was back then, their ability to communicate information across the country. And you would read the box score the next day in the paper. You weren't getting real-time information until radio, and even the radio was sometimes considerably behind. So we're back to that, I guess. And those stories are, what they are. Cubs aren't in the playoffs. Yeah, well, there's always spring training. That's going to be around the corner faster than you think. The Lakers and the Doyers. Yeah, missed both playoff games. Yep. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. My buddy Latino Slant's one of the last people I know that's watching sports consistently because of his Doyers, the Dodgers, the Doyers. Money is no longer the driving force for these multinational corps. It's ideology. And that might be true, RR. You may be right. They will always get funding from where the wealthy elite ideological overlords, and they want to reshape the world. Well, they're going to have a hard time doing it because if you're not making profit, you're not getting money anymore. I mean, that is just the way it is. So, hey, Fat Steven, good to see you, buddy. Glad you're here. Rollerball. Absolutely. I would like to see roller derby, rollerball style. I think that'd be really, really cool. I think we're very close to it. I thought the representation of that game in the movie Alita, if you haven't seen Alita, it's kind of a fun game. I thought that was really, really cool. I thought that was a lot of fun. It's a little reach back. Doyers? No, it's not. It's not. It really isn't. Yeah. When MLS went woke, it saved me $2,800. Oh, dude. Okay. We can't even calculate the amount of money. I was thinking about this the other day. I can calculate how much money I saved on like the sports packages that I want, and everything else. It's essentially 1/3 of a car. A new car, not a used car. It's one used car. Let's just put it in those terms. And then all the money that I spent on attending games, all the money that I spent on the beverages and the tailgating and everything else. Yeah. I mean, I don't even want to go there. Kansas City, I don't know. I think that's a celebratory name. But it is what it is. I wish I knew what the joke was, but probably this, or rollerball. I think that's probably true. The James Caan version. Yep. Yeah, the original. Yeah. Please do that, guys. All right. So I think we hit the last of the stories I wanted to cover. I want to do a couple quick promotions before we head out. Unless anybody out there has something else they want to throw into the chat, I will be happy to discuss at length, as long as it's not terribly political and I can avoid politics at all costs. Because, guys, that's not what I'm here to do. I will go other places and do that. Maybe one day I'll start another channel that's about politics, but you don't want to hear about me because I'm very issue oriented, and I'm not party oriented. But anyway, that's as much as I'll say about that. Okay, so do go over to Kai's stream when we're done here. check out the Space Crime Domino. His channel is actually his writing name, Kai MFS. So go check that out if you get a chance. Tell him I sent you. When you do, let him know that that you're interested in creators out there that are putting together their own stuff. Make sure that you support incredible creators like Lorena Creole, who's here in the chat, whose assistant Fat Steven Seagal is here in the chat as well, who wants you to smash the like. Be sure that you check out other amazing creators like the Mirror Spheres Origin, like Dollified, like several other folks that are in the chat. Jake D is an up and coming guy. If you haven't checked out his content, do so. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe. Well, just help him out. He's a good guy. I think he's going to make a heck of an interviewer. Go check out my buddy Wes Moody on the Wes Moody webcast. He needs your help. He needs your viewing hours. He needs your subscription if you're not subscribed already. He will be, I'm going to say this, I say it every time I interact or talk about him. He's going to be the next Joe Rogan on this platform because he has an interview style. He's launching his interview show. I think I'm going to be the first person on it. And I'm looking forward to that. I think he's going to be great. So, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no, you're right. The same drive for producers to inject their bad ideas in the movies. They fund the same drive. Absolutely. Which is why we're not getting entertainment that's entertaining anymore. Might be onto something. Should start sending messages to social media thanking them for the money customers save canceling things. Absolutely, Roof Korean. Thank you. I think we should start doing that. That would definitely send a message, I think, and it would that would echo loud and clear to be something you couldn't ignore. Would be all over Parrot Analytics. I think that's a good plan. Warhammer said, yeah, suck it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And so the Geyer, Kai MFS was the author. Lorena Creole is here in the chat, and I think we've had her link up there a few times. The link to Kai's book has actually been in the chat also. And Jake D, if Makini, if you're still here, throw Jake D's link in there for me too, and Dollifieds. So thanks. FC Dallas, man, great football club. I mean, it's soccer, but football. So Wes Moody is awesome. Yeah, Lorena, you're awesome too. Lorena is short, just under 400 subs now. She's real close. She needs that little push. So if you're not subscribed, check out her content. Give her a sub, guys. She's also going to need some watch hours. So give her a push. Give her a push. I'm going to keep promoting her for days. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you, Fat Steven. Demagina is awesome. He just got that threshold. He needs watch hours. He needs watch hours. He's one of the members of the Dark Council. It's freaking great. The whole platform is full of fantastic people right now. Coinbase is paying SAWs to quit. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, and somebody else made allusions to that earlier. And if I had more background on it, I would go there for sure. I'm in the chat for Kai in the other tab. Thank you. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. Lots of good channels. Absolutely. Lorena is about to get a push. Yes, we are going to push her hard. Real football, so named because you pass the ball about with your feet. That's true. It is. I mean, I get your point, Karen Prime, but I like to make fun of soccer. But I like football. I've always liked football. I used to play club soccer. So don't worry. Lorena is a great creator. That's right. Creator. That too. She puts together some great panels. Her live streams are on fire, even if I'm on them once in a while. So forgot, not wrenching, can't post links. Oh, I'm sorry, Lord Thoth. I'll try to remember to put a link in there for you guys. But anyway, I just wanted to say thank you all again for being here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and run the closing credits. If you like the stream, like it. If you want to share it, share it. And guys, you know what? The most important thing is to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course. And until next time,